Chairman, Madam Ranking Member. I have 5 amendments. I'll attempt to be uncharacteristically brief. With one exception, they have bipartisan support. None obviously has a financial impact, and in fact, one has already passed the House by a considerable margin in previous sessions.
Mr. Heck, if you will identify the division and the number. Fantastic.
I will, sir. So I'll deal with the first group together because they really relate to the same subject. They're from Division D, and they're amendments number 90, 91, and number 89. Essentially what these amendments taken together would do would to assure that in those states that have chosen, either at the ballot box or through their legislature with governor's signature, to authorize and legalize either medical marijuana sale or adult recreational sale, that these can be better regulated markets. So specifically what these amendments would do, number 90, would bar funds in the bill from allowing financial regulators at the federal level from punishing banks that provide services to these legally constituted businesses. Amendments 91 and 89 would bar funds in the bill from enabling the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network from walking back their regulated guidance or altering their regulated guidance in these states where it has been approved. Now, let me just say this. This is a public safety issue. First and foremost, this is a public safety issue. This is about whether or not in the overwhelming majority of population in this country, there exists a huge incentive to be an all-cash business, or whether or not we're going to track the funds and make sure that these markets, which are existing, where this practice is occurring, from being well regulated. And I think we all would recognize we want them well regulated, because to borrow the terms from the Cole Memorandum from the Department of Justice and the parallel language in the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, what we need to do is make sure that where these states have taken these steps, we A, keep marijuana out of the hands of minors, and B, keep cash out of the hands of gangs and cartels. And if these are cash-based businesses, we cannot do either of those. That's why these amendments are needed. Now, why do I say that it's a public safety issue? A year ago, June, a young man in Congressman Paulus's district got up, went to work, 23 years old. He was a Marine. He was deployed. He was already the father of 3 young children because he had a pair of twins in there. And he was studying and working toward being a police officer. In order to fund that study, he took a job as a security guard at a retail marijuana establishment. Because criminals thought that that was an all-cash business, they walked in, and that young man named Travis Mason was shot dead. This is a public safety issue. One preliminary study from the state of Colorado indicated that marijuana businesses had a 50% higher burglary rate than non-marijuana businesses. Why? Because they think they're all cash. In order to make them not all cash, we have to give them the assurance that they can have access to banking services. And taken together, that's what these 3 amendments would do, Mr. Chairman. The first one that I alluded to bars funds from the financial regulators from being used to punish banks, passed this House by a very significant majority in previous sessions.